So out walking with the dog that abandoned me, and it's too hot. It's 30 degrees. I left home at about 7:20, and it was 30 degrees here. It's quite nice. It's quite it's in the shade, but yeah, the temperature is not going down. You know, even in the evening, it's still kind of like 28, 27 at like midnight sort of thing. So, but anyway, it's summer, isn't it? So, cancer update. For those who don't know, in 2022, in March of 2022, I got diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic prostate cancer, where it had spread to some lymph nodes and to the spine, to the hip, and a few other bits and pieces around the prostate, the seminal vesicule, and part of the rectum. It's mainly just around. It hadn't spread too far, but it had spread and it had gone to the bones. So since then, I was told it was like more or less. I wouldn't say it was terminal, but they say it's not curable, and we don't know how long you got. But I wouldn't translate that as being terminal, because with prostate cancer, there's a lot of options. So I went on a thing called triple therapy, which is basically you do 6 rounds of Taxotere chemotherapy whilst on Zytiga and a Lupron style injection. For my case, it was Firmagon, and then I changed, because Firmagon really hurt in the stomach. I changed to Decapeptyl, and that's a 1 injection every 6 months. So anyway, the first 6 months I was on this triple therapy, and that was going really well. So at the end of the 6 months sort of period, my cancer more or less disappeared, and they were sort of like really surprised. Anyway, I diagnosed, I forgot to say, I had lesion 10. So the highest grade you can get, but my PSA was only 5.5, so that's kind of dangerous, because the PSA level is low but the grade is very high. Is a dangerous situation, because then sometimes they'll just ignore it. It's not too high, you know what I mean, you're okay. Well, I wasn't. I was stage 4 already, you know what I mean. So yeah, it was full on. And so by the time at the end of the summer, I was doing really well, and they said, let's kill off the last bit of cancer that's left in, that we can see, that's left in the prostate. We'll kill it off with some radiotherapy. So I did radiotherapy at the end of the year. My father passed away, so I didn't get to do that until like November. It was scheduled for October, but in November it was scheduled, but my father passed away at the beginning of November, so I did it in December. And then I had some serious peeing issues because of the radiotherapy. It scars inside you. The tubes get all scarred, and you can't pee too good. And that went on for a couple of years. Literally, that has been a nightmare. And it got really bad again. I was peeing a lot. Every hour I was up at night, and it was like really, I couldn't go anywhere without stopping somewhere every sort of half an hour. And that has cleared up at last. 2 years, actually nearly 2.5 years later, after radiotherapy, it's actually nearly back to normal. I can't believe that. My peeing is really good. But anyway, so I been in remission for 2 years now, which is remission but I'm still on hormone therapy, so it's a kind of a false remission, but they call it remission. But I'm still on hormone therapy, but a very light version of it. I don't take the Zytiga anymore since a year now. And my last injection was 10 months ago. So what was the plan? The plan was to, if my testosterone rose above a 0.5, I'd go back on the injection, right? So after 2 months ago, I did a blood test. It was 0. It went from 0.3 to 0.2. It actually went down. And so I stayed off the injection, and I did a blood test yesterday, and it's gone up to 0.8, but my PSA is still at 0.03, so that's excellent news. But my testosterone is starting to rise again, which is normal, because I haven't had an injection for 10 months. So I'm going to have an injection on Monday. So I'm back on the hormone therapy, and apparently it is more or less for life. But I think I'm in a situation where they're calling it's treatment with the intent to cure. So it's curative intentional treatment or something. And so what will happen is, if I can stay on hormone therapy as long as I can without getting resistant to it, they keep going until they think there's no cancer, and then I have to come off it because the hormone therapy won't be doing anything if I become resistant. But the only way you can find out is stopping that. The only way to find out that is if I stay on hormone therapy but my PSA starts to rise, and then that will be a different situation. So at the moment, I'm all good, I'm fine, but it's a question of now maintaining a minimum amount of hormone therapy to keep the testosterone suppressed under 0.5. It's usually at about 0.3. So until something happens. So I'm getting blood tests every 2 months to check my PSA and my testosterone. Now the scenario is, if the PSA starts rising, that means I'm hormone resistant. Then we've got to look at something else needs to be done, because the cancer's coming back. And because my grade was so high, they're very worried, because it was a very aggressive type. But I reacted so well to treatment that they're a bit surprised that it sort of like vanished. From the blood tests and from the scans, there's nothing there. So, but there can be microscopic activity, and that's what they're scared of. So, don't want to put oil on the fire, basically. So, yeah, we're just going to continue on like that and see how I do. Actually, I'm not worried, because progress is huge at the moment in cancer research, and AI and stuff like that is going to push forward what's going on. So I'm not that worried. So yeah, we'll see how that all pans out. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe and watch my other videos, because they're not all about cancer. It's about life as an Englishman in Corsica, in a village at the top here, and you can see the sea down there. And I often go paddle boarding, and I do stuff with the kids and that. And so we'll see. Off to Calvi on Tuesdays, so that'd be nice. Go up to Calvi, it's a nice place. Kind of above Ajaccio, about two and a bit hour drive. So yeah, not too bad. And this place is so beautiful, it's unbelievable. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.